What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best and most powerful poison SRS Necromancer build in PoE 3.26. This setup has everything you want for smooth progression and powerful bossing. So, insane single target damage, automated clear, excellent scaling into the endgame, and most importantly, it feels like you're commanding an unstoppable ghost army. It's seriously that good, and here's the plan. I'm going to walk you through how the build works, how to level it, the gear and gems that you need to start at every stage, and how to scale it into the red maps and then into the endgame bosses. We are using my out of building setup where you can find a complete level by level skill trees, gem links, gear sets and the whole package. So if you are interested in this, then check the link in the description. And before we continue, thanks to U4GM. They are a pro website that provides PoE1 boosting, items and even currency with a cheap price and fast delivery. They have over 17,000 positive comments and this website is really worth a try. So make sure to use my discount code KADE for extra 6% off. So, the Poison SRS Necromancer is a minion build that focuses on scaling poison damage through rapidly summoning spirits. You will summon these flaming skulls, and instead of relying on a raw hit damage, we will convert their attacks into poison using the golden rule and a chance to poison mechanics. Because you are summoning multiple spirits per second, poison stacks ramp up incredibly fast and the bosses simply melt. The entire strategy centers around flooding enemies with these spirits and applying layers of poison over time. Each skull is expandable, meaning that they don't need to survive or deal massive hits, they just need to apply poison, and we make sure they do that dozens of times per second. This build has smooth map clear, incredible boss potential, and surprisingly strong defenses. With Grace and Determination auras, block chance from the Aegis aura, and a solid life pool, you're tankier than the most summoners. And since the minions do all the heavy lifting, you get to focus on movement, positioning and staying alive. Now let's talk about Ascendancy path for a Necromancer, and it's built around scaling poison and minion synergy for the poison SRS setup. Your order of the Ascendancy points is very important for smooth progression and the damage scaling, so start with the Commander of the Darkness. This gives a big early boost by increasing all elemental resistances and improving aura effectiveness. It helps you cap resists early during leveling and boosts both you and your minions' attack and cast speed based on how many auras you run. It's a major quality of life node early on. Next, go for the Mindless Aggression. This node increases minion movement speed, attack speed and damage, which are all key to speeding up your SRS clear and the poison effects. It makes your raging spirits more responsible and aggressive, which helps with the map flow and the early bosses. Your third node is the Unnatural Strength, which gives +2 to all minion skill damage levels. This is a massive spike in power, giving your SRS more damage and life while scaling poison output significantly. It's the point where the build really starts to feel powerful in maps and tougher fights. Lastly, take the Bone Barrier. This adds an extra defensive layer, giving your minions more life and physical damage reduction, and even unlocking the Bone Armor skill. It's essential for surviving high tier content while staying mobile. With these 4 nodes, you will have everything, so strong scaling, great clear speed, and improved minion durability and defenses. Now let's start with our leveling setup, and right from the start we will go with the summoning raging spirits and the minion damage. In the early acts, you're not poisoning yet, you're just running basic minion damage setup. So add melee splash to help with the pack clearing, and unleash as soon as it's available to make the summoning smoother. At level 18, start to use the chance to poison, and make sure to keep leveling the Withering Step, Despair and the Herald of Agony, even if you're not using them, as they will become important very soon. Then in Act 3, pick up Desecrate and Offering skills, and by Act 5 you will start feeling a big power bump, as Unleash and a chance to poison will come online fully. Then by level 50 or so, start to swapping fully into the poison scaling. You'll need to equip the Golden Rule Javel. It causes poison on you to mirror onto enemies, and start picking up minion poison and the chaos damage on your passive tree. And also start getting ready, as from this point, the build will start to ramp up super hard. So once you hit maps, the build really starts to shine, and fast. Your Summon Raging Spirit setup should now be supported by the Unleash, Minion Damage, Chance to Poison and Avoid Manipulation. If you get a 6th link, then go with the Empower or the Melee Splash, depending on either if you want more boss damage or the smoother clear. The key priority early on is to get the Golden Rule Javel equipped. This turns your self-poison into a damage engine. Make sure you have a way to apply poison to yourself, either way through the gloves with a poison on a hit with attacks, or a volatile dead self-hit, though early on it's not as mandatory. Just having the golden rule lets the minions benefit from its mirroring effect, so begin running your key auras, the Grace, Determination, and Defiance banner. These will give you a huge armor and evasion boost, and make mapping feel safe and smooth. Cast Withering Step as often as possible to stack chaos resistance reduction on bosses and rares. Also focus your gear around getting a res capped, grabbing life on every piece, and picking up a wand with a +1 to minion skill gems or a cast speed. Minion movement speed is also very nice here, as it makes your spirits hit targets faster. One of your big goals is to get a despair on a hit ring, even if it's just a cheap one. Manually casting despair is fine, but automating it makes it a big difference once you are in the yellow maps, and by the time that you're halfway through those yellows, you will feel the scaling kicking in, and it only gets crazier from here. And then once you're entering the red maps, it's time to take the build to the next level. You'll want to upgrade your weapon to something with a +1 to minion or chaos gems, minion damage, or even cast speed. Look for influence mods like minion deals additional chaos damage. Your goal is to increase the base level of SRS and boost minion attack speed so that they can apply more poisons per second. Your shield upgrade is the Aegis Aurora, and this is a game changer as it grants energy shield every time you block, and since we are stacking armor and block chance, so this creates a mini recovery loop, which is extremely tanky, especially for bosses or the delve. Cluster Jevels will become very important now. You want 1 or 2 medium clusters with minions deal additional chaos damage, or Unholy Might on a minion kill. These scale your poison even further and give you bonus chaos penetration. Your chest now should be Grasping Mail, Evasion Bases, or even a +1 to Socketed Gems. If you get lucky when crafting it, a +2 to SRS Helm will become your next major upgrade, and it will carry you into the endgame bosses. Look for SRS mod plus the minion life, plus the chance to poison if possible. The Despair Curse should now be automated using either way a Warlord ring or a trigger wand. You want to make room for the Temporal Chains as your second curse, as this slows enemies and makes the poison last longer. That's free extra damage over time. You should also now be running the Val Summon Skeletons as a panic button or burst phase. For hard map bosses, Skeleton plus the SRS plus the Wither plus the Despair will just delete them in seconds, so make sure your spell suppression is at least at 70 to 100%. Also, that chaos resistance is decent and block chance is high. This combo with a high avoidance, high uptime on withering stacks, and the chaos scaling are key, as these will turn the build into a poison death machine. And now finally, let's take a look at the endgame setup. You should now be using a +2 wand or +1 chaos, +1 minion wand with a high cast speed. If you're feeling fancy, then go for trigger wand with multiple skill automation. Your helmet should be a +2 to SRS helm with life and resistances. Best case scenario is to craft one with the Essence of Insanity base to get minion movement speed, which will make your skulls fly to targets even faster. Then cluster jevels are also essential here, so you want 2 medium clusters with a minion deal additional chaos damage. And you can even go for a large cluster with a Call to Slaughter or Feasting Friends for more damage. Don't forget the Unholy Might uptime, as it adds a ton of chaos DPS. Then the Aegis Aurora will remain the best in slot, but if you prefer a spell suppression focused setup, then you could experiment with a rare shield or +1 to minion shields. Both of them will work as long as you can cap or block suppression. Your curse setup should now be Despair plus the Temporal Chains, which are both automated. This gives longer poison duration and better uptime on your chaos scaling. Use the Essence support that scales their effect if you want to go full curse build. You're also aiming for the level 28 to 30 SRS with Empower 4, Helmet Enhanced, and the gem level scaling. This absolutely shreds any boss in the game, especially combined with the Withering stacks from the Withering Step or utility skeletons. In short, by the endgame, this build is a green cloud of death. You flood the screen with poison spirits that stack damage instantly and melt everything in your path. It feels amazing and stays safe the whole way through. And now finally, let's go over the gameplay. For boss fights, the opener is simple and effective, so dash in, use the Withering Step to apply debuffs, then pop the Wall Skeletons for the extra pressure, and then cast Despair, and then start rapidly summoning the Raging Spirits. Your role is to stay mobile, keep the flask up, and avoid incoming mechanics. while the minions will handle all the damage. You don't need to stand still, you move, summon, reposition, and let the stacking poison do the work. It's a fast-paced loop that rewards awareness and a rhythm. In maps, the playstyle is even smoother. You dash through the packs, cast few SRS and keep moving. Poison ticks after the hit, so enemies will often die shortly after the contact, which allows you to keep momentum without waiting for kills. This makes the build feel fast and safe, especially with how aggressively your minions seek out the targets. What really sets this build apart is its consistency in the high juice content. Poison does not care about the monster's life scaling, it just stacks and kills. So if you're in Delirium, Legion or the Blight, then this build holds up extremely well. You will apply poison fast, stack damage over time and then reposition, before the targets reach you. Casting SRS is instant, so you're rarely locked in place. With a high summon rate and good gear scaling, you can keep multiple spirits up while moving. Then your support tools like the Vile Skeletons, Withering Step and Despair will layer into your damage and control, without overcomplicating the rotation. It feels fluid and rewarding, and best of all, this build scales well without needing insane gear. Gem levels, modest rares, and proper support links will carry all of the weight. And once you learn the rhythm, dash, summon, repeat, it becomes a smooth and reliable league starter that transitions into early, high endgame content. So, let me know what you think about this build in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous top 10 best builds video, where I showed even more powerful builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.